Good evening, welcome everyone. Welcome to my class, The Daily Current Affairs. I hope you are enjoying these classes because I do enjoy making them a lot. Also, to help you with the current affairs preparation for UPSC 2024, I have come up with a marathon that will be premiered tomorrow at 6 p.m. Do watch that. Whatever you have missed for the month of June, every current affairs is covered over here. Okay, and that doesn't mean that you will not rely on the daily classes. It's just supplementation. All right. So do not worry about making notes as well because that will be provided through my Telegram channel, Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. These are the various events that we have to cover today. Let's start with the first question that was for practice. Many of you have answered it correctly, so I will take your names by the end of this class. The Digital Payment Index was launched by. These were the given options. The correct answer will be option C, Reserve Bank of India. See, the Digital Payment Index is an index that wants to gauge what is the level of digital payment penetration in the country. That means how many people are using it. Because RBI wants to formulate policies accordingly. So that is why this particular index will measure certain parameters, 5 broad parameters, and then they will reach a decision about it. Payment enablers, payment infrastructure. From the demand side, we have 10%, from the supply 15%. Payment performance, how is it doing, and how consumer centric it is, how consumer friendly it is. All right, so the correct answer will be option C. Also, the P2I batch sale is ending today. Make sure you take admission as soon as possible with a huge discount. Use the code PDLive because with this you will get it at 26,999 only. Today is the last date. With respect to Aspirational Block Development Program, consider the following statements. It was announced in the Union Budget of 2015-16. It is being implemented in 500 aspirational blocks. So which of the statement given above is or are correct? See, yes, it is on the same lines as the Aspirational District Program. We have Aspirational Block Program. And this was a nationwide program that was launched in January itself, January 7th, on January 7th. And the first statement with that becomes incorrect. And it is being implemented in 500 aspirational blocks is correct. Second is correct. First is not. Prime Minister has launched a unique week-long program that is related to the Aspirational Block Development Program. This is Sankalp Saptah. It will provide certain themes to look at to enhance quality of life of the citizens. These themes for the next 6 days plus the last one will be culmination of it. First theme will be Sampurna Swastha, then Parivar, Swachhata, Krishi, Shiksha and Samriddhi Divas, and so on. Consider the following pairs. We have to match the country and the age of consent it has. Britain 18 years, Japan 16 years, China 14 years. How many pairs given above is or are correct? The 22nd Law Commission has said that we do not need to rethink about the age of consent. We have to keep it at 18 because it will lead to child marriages if we do not take care of it. So Britain has an age of consent at the age of 16. Japan has had the age of consent of 13. Now it is 16. And China and Germany, they have 14. Earlier, Japan had the lowest age of consent. What is age of consent? Age of consent is basically an age at which you are considered able enough to decide if you want to engage in sexual intercourse or not. So according to the POCSO, earlier we had the age of consent at 16. Later on it was raised to 18. So any person below the age of 18 years, if it is a woman and she is consenting to the sexual intercourse, but still it will be considered a rape because we have increased the age of consent in 2012 from 16 to 18. Okay, remember that. So what happens? First is incorrect, second is correct, third is also correct. So second and third are correct, not the first. Two only will be the correct answer. I have already told you about this. It criminalizes all sexual activities for those who are under the age of 18. Moving on. Britain, it is 16. Germany and China 14. Japan had 13, now it is 16. Who among the following was also known as Gandhi Budi? That means the old Gandhian woman. Beena Das, Matangini Hazra, Sarojini Naiduji, Kanaklata Barua. The correct answer is option B, Matangini Hazra. And yesterday was the death anniversary of Ma Matangini Hazra, and she was born in a village named Hogla near Tamluk in the year 1869. She belonged to a very poor family. So when her father saw that he did not have enough for the dowry, he married her at the age of 12 to a 60-year-old Trilochan Hazra. By the age of 18, she was widowed without any children. So she got influenced by the kind of, movement that was going on back then for independence. So in his book, Codenamed God, Mani Bhaumik has said that her love for Gandhi was so great that she became known in our village as Gandhi Budi, or the old Gandhian woman. At 61, she was arrested for taking part in the civil disobedience movement and the Salt March led by Gandhi ji. Quit India movement back then in 1942, she was 73 years of age and she led a procession consisting of at least 6,000 protesters, mostly women were there, and she collapsed to the British bullets. And it's a really, really sad one. Okay, 1977, it was the first statue in Kolkata Maidan that was dedicated to a woman revolutionary. It was of Matangini Hazra. Okay, which of the following countries is in the grip of a serious financial crisis is rushing to quell tension sparked by the government's decision to force people to exchange their old currency for newly minted banknotes? Any guesses? The correct answer is option A, that is Nigeria. There are brawls at the bank, police patrol and ATM queues because it's a government approach to replace the old banknotes with the new naira, and this is new naira notes. And when it has gotten short, people are starting to fight with each other, and that is all happening in Nigeria. Nigeria is already in a grip of crisis. This is now another crisis. So the correct answer will be option A, that is Nigeria. Moving on, with respect to stubble burning, consider the following statements. It is a method of removing paddy crop residues in the field. Burning husk on the ground increases the nutrient in the soil, making it more fertile, and it is a common practice in October and November across northwest India. So how many statements given above is or are correct? Stubble burning is the practice of removing the leftover paddy straws by burning them. This is more efficient considered by certain farmers, that at once before they want to sow the wheat seeds, they have to finish off with the paddy. And this coincides with the southwest monsoon. There is a lack of wind during that period, and what happens, the smoke that arises from it stays over the places near Delhi, and that stagnates, and this creates pollution. Given all this, we have to take care of stubble burning. So first statement is correct. Burning husk is very bad for the nutrients. It actually decreases the nutrients, making the soil infertile. Also, the heat that penetrates below the soil, it kills the soil moisture as well. So first is correct, second is not. And it is very common from October to November, specifically in northwest India, Punjab, Haryana, etc., Uttar Pradesh as well. So how many statements given above is or are correct? First is correct, third is correct, second is not correct. So what will happen? 2 only will be the correct answer. NHRC is saying you are not doing enough, government, when it comes to engaging farmers and telling them stubble burning is not happy. It's not good, not happy. It's not good. Also, stubble burning, that is known by parali burning, a method of removing paddy crop residues from the field to sow wheat, and that happens last week of September to November. It coincides with the withdrawal of the southwest monsoon. It is a process of setting on fire the straw stubble left after the harvesting of grains like paddy. It is usually required in areas that have used combined harvesting method, which leaves crop residues behind. It's a common practice in these regions. Pollution, first of all, it emits a lot of toxins in the atmosphere: methane, carbon monoxide, volatile organic compounds, carcinogenic polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Then soil fertility also gets destroyed. Then, of course, I've told you about all this. Okay. Then turbo happy seeder machine is the machine that can be used. However, there is a lack of political will to provide it. Also, this is really expensive for farmers. We have to do something to make it affordable to them. Something like a community approach can be used for happy seeders, when a community can own the happy seeder and use it step by step. That could use it turn by turn, step by step. It not only uproots the stubble but also sow the seeds of the wheat. With reference to the Astra Missile, consider the following statements. It is a beyond visual range surface-to-air missile. The missile is designed to engage and destroy highly maneuvering supersonic aircraft, and the missile has all-weather day and night capability. What do we have to see? How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Yes, it's beyond visual range. That means it can intercept missiles from far away, not the one even you can see. And it's not a surface-to-air missile. It's an air-to-air missile. So UPSC will confuse you like this. Like this only it will confuse you. It will take certain parts to be correct, certain parts to be incorrect. So you have to be very clever. Which part is incorrect, you have to see it. And that comes only with revision, nothing else. And of course, solving MCQs. The missile is designed to engage and destroy highly maneuvering supersonic aircraft. You see that here it has been integrated with Sukhoi Mk1 aircraft. Okay. And with this, it will be able to also tackle supersonic aircraft. So yes, second is correct. Missile has all-weather day and night capability. Correct. 2 and 3rd are correct. First is not. 2 only will be the correct answer. It's a beyond visual range air-to-air missile To engage and destroy highly maneuvering supersonic aerial targets, it was designed and developed by Defense Research and Development Laboratory, Research Center Imarat, and other laboratories of DRDO as well. And it has been integrated with Sukhoi 30 Mk1. Remember that. So now let's move on to the practice question. With reference to the Santhal Rebellion, consider the following statements. The Santhal Rebellion, also known as Hul Rebellion, was started in the late 18th century. It was an organized war against colonialism, and the rebellion was led by two brothers, Siddhu and Kanhu. And the rebellion took place in the Damini Koh region. So how many of the statements given above is or are correct? You have to tell me. Also, let me take the names of those students who have answered the last question correctly, because it will help you a lot, make you enthusiastic, so that you can answer this question as well. Simran has answered it correctly. Selva, Swati, Kanika, Pallav, thank you so much, Pallav. Ria, thank you. Shubham, damn you, yes, that was a really good series. Priyadarshan, very nice. Padmashri, no. We were talking about Digital Payment Index. It is actually by RBI itself. Anshika has answered it correctly. Nikhil, then Omkar has answered it correctly. Shubham, Prabhat, Chiranjeet, my mobile phone. Yes, really nice to know that it was also premiered in Telugu. Then Vivek has answered it correctly. Tejas, my goodness, thank you so much. Siddharth, Gopesh, Vikalp, very good. Abdul, thank you. No, Abul, thank you. Murshida, Devi. Devi is actually, it's C. Okay. Mallinath, Mitlesh, Shantanu, Ritu, Abhishek, Golden, Mohan, Sanjay, Pragati, Nityanand, Promit, Itihasa, then Anfas, Utkal, Anjali. Thank you so much for answering the last question. Answer this question as well. Stay updated.